The old house groaned around Leo, a familiar symphony of settling wood and whistling drafts. But tonight, a new sound had joined the chorus. It was a voice, smooth and low, seeping from the dusty speakers of his grandfather's antique radio. It only ever spoke at midnight. "Good evening," it would say, as if greeting a lone listener in a forgotten corner of the world. Tonight's story is one of shadows and whispers. At first, Leo was intrigued. The stories were macabre, weaving tales of local folklore he'd never heard, of strange disappearances and unsettling events that mirrored the town's grim history. He'd listen, captivated, until the final chilling sign-off at 1 a.m., until the next midnight. But then, the stories began to change. They were no longer about the past. They were about the now. "A lonely dog will bark thrice at the moon," the voice announced one night, and then fall silent. Leo's neighbor's dog, a boisterous terrier named Buster, barked 3 times. Then an abrupt, horrifying silence. The next morning, Buster was gone. Panic began to prickle at the edges of Leo's fascination. The radio spoke of a flickering streetlight at the end of his lane, and the next night, it was the only one dark. It whispered of a child's laughter echoing in the abandoned playground, and Leo heard it, a ghostly peal that made his blood run cold. He tried to stop listening. He unplugged the radio, but the voice still came, a faint, tinny whisper from the inert machine. He tried to smash it, but the ancient wood was unnaturally resilient, refusing to splinter. He was trapped, a prisoner to the midnight broadcast. The voice knew him now. It spoke of a young man in an old house, listening in the dark, his heart a frantic drum against his ribs. "He is beginning to understand," the voice purred, a thread of amusement in its tone. "He knows the stories are real, and tonight's story is about him." Leo's breath hitched. The voice described his room in chilling detail. The peeling wallpaper, the single flickering bulb, the way the shadows clung to the corners like waiting predators. "He is looking for a way out," the voice continued, "but there is no way out. The story must be told. The story must be finished." The front door creaked open downstairs. Heavy, deliberate footsteps began to ascend the stairs. "And his story ends," the radio voice whispered, its tone dropping to a final, terrifyingly soft note, with a visitor at his door. The footsteps stopped outside his room. A slow, deliberate knock echoed in the sudden, suffocating silence.